सुदिनं च मे ऊर्च मे सूनृता च मे
पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतं च मे मधु च मे शक्तिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे जैत्रं च मौद्भिद्यं च मे रयश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे भूयश्च मे च मे चुषुश्च मे दीर्घयश्च मे यवाश्च मे मासाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुक्ताश्च मे कल्पाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मे नभश्च मे श्रावाकाश्च मे नीवालाश्च मे.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be peace on earth. One more time, Sai Ram. Vurchame Sunritachame is nobody is practicing. Many people are just coming to Purana Kalakshepam. Practicing? Yes? No? Sincerely? Partially. Only Friday evening, if time allows, we will do that before bhajans. Otherwise, no chanting regularly. Correct? No? Yes? Yeah. Let's do one more time. Urchame
सूनृता च मे पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतं च मे मधु च मे शक्तिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे जैत्रं च मौद्भिद्यं च मे रयश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे भूयश्च मे च मे चुश्च मे दीर्घयश्च मे यवाश्च मे मासाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे कल्पाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मे नभश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवालाश्च मे.
One more time because it's not still there. Urchame Sunruta cha me
पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतं च मे मधु च मे शक्तिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे कृषिश्च मे वृष्टिश्च मे जैत्रं च मौद्भिद्यं च मे रयश्च मे रायश्च मे पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे भूयश्च मे च मे
Chushcha me
दीर्घयश्च मे यवाश्च मे मासाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुक्ताश्च मे कल्पाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मे नभश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवालाश्च मे.
Some people are saying Godhumaschami. It is Godhumaschami. Godhumaschami, not Godhumaschami. Godhumaschami. Right? U has the higher note, the dirgham on it, right? Hello? Should be. Okay, Sairam brothers, can you please? Yeah, thank you. So, कूयवाश्च मे नञ्च मे क्षुश्च मे व्रीहयश्च मे यवाश्च मे माशाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियङ्गवश्च मेणवश्च मे श्यामाकाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे. Please repeat. कूयवाश्च मे नञ्च मे that may is flat. From tilaschame onwards the may are flat. Only the vrihayashchame, yavaschame are down. Rest are all the mays are flat. Okay. Kuyavaschame nanchame that is better. Now one more time. Urchame. Urchame. Sunrutachame. Payaschame. Rasaschame. Ghrutamchame. Madhuchame. Saddischame. Sapitischame. Prusishchame. Vrishtischame. Traitramchama. Audnityamchame. Raischame. Rayaschame. पुष्टं च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णं च मे पूर्णतरं च मे क्षितिश्च मे पूयवाश्च मे हं च मे चक्षुश्च मे व्रीहयश्च मे यवाश्च मे मासाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे कल्वाश्चमे गोधूमाश्चमे मसुराश्चमे प्रियङ्गवश्चमे नवश्चमे श्यामाकाश्चमे नीवाराश्चमे. Getting there? Yes. कूयवाश्च मे नञ्च मे हन्नञ्च मे क्षुश्च मे. Is what kuyavaश्च me? What is the confusion? Kuyavaश्च me annancha me, right? Annancha me is kuyavaschcha me nancha me kshuscha me vrihayascha me yavaschcha me mashascha me tilascha me mudgascha me khalvascha me godhumascha me masurascha me priyangavascha me navascha me syavakascha me nivarascha me. One more time. Kuyavascha me nancha me kshuscha me vrihayascha me yavascha me mashascha me tilascha me mudgascha me kalvascha me godhumascha me masurascha me priyangavascha me navascha me Many Rudras are in Nidra today because of the 1 hour difference. Many Rudras are in Nidra. They didn't know that the clock changed, in spite of constant reminders from poor Jagan. 2 emails he sent. So, this Anuvakam that we are learning is about how the Mother Earth is engaged in responding to the divine effulgence of the sun. And last week I stopped at Vibhuchame, Pushtanchame, Pushtischame. That's where Pushtam means nutrition. Pushtischame means good. Pushtam means abundance. Pushtischame means food translating into nutritive value. Pushtanchame, Pushtischame. Vibhu means broad-minded, all-pervading one. Vishnu and Vibhu are the same context. Vibhu. Then Prabhu means Prabhu means Lord of all the Lords. Prabhu. Vibhuchame, Vibhuchame, Prabhuchame. Bahuchame means in many, many things. Bahuchame, in many, many things. Of whatever is in need. Bhuyaschame means much more than abundance. Bahu means many. Bhuyaschame means abundance. Purnam means completeness. Purnataram means even superlative to Purnam. So, when we were talking last week, how this translation of the abundant energy becomes the many and the many and the many that are required and more than what is required. Fullness even beyond what is requirement is Purnataram. So Mahatma Gandhi said there is enough that God has given to the human to fill his needs, but not his greed. So Purnataram means even beyond what you can imagine. It is incomprehensible abundance and glory. You cannot even comprehend. How is this even possible? Purnataranchame. Then Akshitischame means so abundant that there will be no dearth for anything. Kshiti means decline. Akshiti means the one that never declines. That means so much abundance. You wouldn't know what to do with it. Akshitischame. Then Kuyavaschame. From here onwards, there is the beautiful description of how this abundance is translated into all different kinds of grains, millets, all different dhanyas that the Mother Earth produces in abundance. Kuyavaschame means all different grains that are actually millets. You know millets? These children, many of you are not used to what all these dhanyas that are going to come. You will be surprised. Oh, really? All these grains are there because you are not used to eating them anymore. Kuyavaschame means all different small-sized millets. Annam. Annam means food. What do we call food as? The one that is eaten with? The one that is, food means khana. We call khana as food. Annam does not mean that. Annam means that whatever you consume is annam. Not whatever you eat is annam. Annam means whatever you consume. What is it that you consume? You know only one place to consume, that is food. Through the mouth. But that's not what annam is. What you consume through your eyes is annam. What you consume through your ears is annam. What you consume through your touch is annam. What you consume through your thought is annam. What you consume through smell is annam. All of that is annam. Anything that is consumed or internalized is annam.
So technically you could say Brahmarpanam kind of all the time.
Yes, yes. Every night before you sleep, if you say, thank you God, Brahmarpanam, whatever I have done today, whatever I heard, whatever I have seen, whatever is I have felt, let me offer it to you, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. This is what is Brahmarpanam, is not just food only. What are God has given us eyes, what are we doing with those eyes? What are we consuming through those eyes? What are we consuming through the ears? That is Annanchame. Akshushchame. Kshudha means hunger. Akshushchame means never hungry, always content. Now, Vrihayaschame. Vrihayaschame means all kinds of different rice. Small, before I said millets, now it is rice. For example, what are all the different types of rice you have know? You have seen different types of rice? Wild rice, then there is brown rice, polished rice, different types, basmati type, Texan long grain rice, all different types of rice. Yavaschame, all millets that are consumed. Before it was all types of millets. Let me tell you this, only 100 years ago, human being was consumed 1,500 types of foods in grains, spices, staples, condiments, herbs. Today, less than 50 types of plants are consumed by humans. This is not my thing. This is a FAO report. The Food Organization report. Means what? Today we are not even eating the diversity of the food we are supposed to eat. How many types of, because now what happens when person is exposed to now what was previously consumed, they begin to get all kinds of food allergies. This food allergy concept never existed before. I never heard when I was a kid somebody saying, I have this. There could be genetic conditions. Genetic conditions like celiac disease and those kind of things, which are genetically like lactose intolerance, those are genetically prone. But food allergy was a concept that never existed before. Only nowadays you hear this. I have food allergy. What a papam, I feel so bad for them. Allergy for food. Why? Because the human being is not eating all different types of, here, like for example, amaranthus. Amaranthus is, in Telugu we call it Totakura. I don't know what you call in other languages, but I can only speak about my experience. Totakura. That Totakura in America is called pigweed. It's called a weed. That is the stupidity of the human being that exists today. That Totakura is so nutritious, it has the highest bioavailable iron content. Gongura has the highest bioavailable vitamin C. What this? That's why when I talk about Gongura Pappu, I am not not because of this thing, nutrition. In fact, there is no need for any human being to consume meat. No requirement to even eat eggs. It is stupidity of the modern nutrition science that says that you need this for this and that. No, absolutely not required. Read Swami's discourses. I am not talking about my knowledge here. Swami, in fact, in a discourse talks about how beautiful the Mother Nature has given all kinds of nutrients naturally produced in plants. But we lost touch with this. We lost touch with Mother Nature. How incredible she is in giving all the different type of nutrients that are required naturally through. Imagine that bioavailable iron means if you take an iron tablet, like they call ferric oxide or ferric sulfate or ferric chloride, when you consume this iron as tablets or capsules, supplements, after a few years, reverse osmosis happens and you become more anemic, not less anemic. And none of this stuff should be even, all this stuff that we are talking about, calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, selenium, they are all available naturally through foods. If you eat your broccoli regularly, you will get very good selenium through that. Huh? I don't know if, what happens is today, because we don't know something, we call that stupid. We do not acknowledge the fact that I don't know this, so I am stupid. Instead of, I don't know this, so I am stupid, what we say, I don't know this, therefore that is stupid. Isn't it? Yeah. Totakura, gongura, all this stuff. I mean, can you imagine spinach and all these different types of leafy vegetables? God has given many different colors with beautiful fruits and vegetables. That is the job I do, therefore this is job advertisement. So, what happens is, in this particular Anuvakam, now you see all different types of Mother Nature, what she produces for us for consumption, for pushtam, pushti, for good nutrition. That is what is being described. Now, Yavaschame means all different kinds of millets. What are the millets? Hello? People can give examples of millets, grains. Ragi, jowar, bajra. Look at these kids, they are looking, what are they talking? What the heck are they talking? They are barley, oh yeah, oats, yes. Garlic, yes, that's a vegetable. Okay? Okay. Onion, garlic, those are vegetables. They are actually bulbs. What are the roots that we consume? Carrot, radish, tomato is a fruit. Yeah. Okay. Beetroot, yes. What are the different types of fruits we consume, children? Strawberry, banana, watermelon, orange. Good. What are the different types of vegetables we consume? Carrot root, cucumber, yes. Cucumber, that's it, huh? Vegetables. Lettuce is leaf. I didn't say vegetable. Huh?
He only told what he eats. Maybe you should ask what frozen vegetables.
Different vegetables. Hello, tell the name of some vegetables. Huh? Beans. Potato is a tuber. It's okay. Vegetable. Spinach is leaf. Vegetable, you see? Okra, okay. Eggplant, right? Brinjal. Huh? Vankaya vanti kura, a curry like Vankaya. Pankajamukhi, Sita vanti bharya, a wife like Sita. An enemy like Ravana, you cannot get anywhere. Okay? Vankaya vanti kura, there is no kura like Vankaya. You know, Vankaya means brinjal. In how many different types of brinjal? When I was a kid, I used to go to market in our hometown. In the market, there will be 15 different types of brinjals. We only know now one called the big, fat eggplant in Schnucks or someplace, Safeway. But the long brinjal, and we'll have this sized brinjals, Gutti Vankai, and even in Gutti Vankai, there will be 5 different types of colors. Now you see, where we wouldn't even have to do anything. If we were hungry, we used to just go, make a little fire, put this Vankaya on the top of it, let it turn, peel off the skin, put some salt and some, karam, eat it like that, just like that. And it will melt in the mouth. You don't even have to eat. Now you see what you kids are missing. Go to the farm and collect vegetables. Take them to the farms. Make them pick vegetables, make them pick, fruits. Then they will get to know. Unfortunately, some of them may get allergy because they are exposed to pollen and all that stuff. But that's how your body gets. You have to be in the mother nature. So annan kuyavaschame, right? Vriha yavaschame, mashaschame, masha. You know what is masha? Hello? Mung dal. Mudgaschame means mung dal. That's why if you go to, when I am doing the Naivedyam, you will see, if there is somebody bought that, I will say Mudganam samarpayami. Mudganam means pesarapappu. That is Mudgaschame. Mudgaschame. Then Masha Mashashchame is black lentil. Means what? Urada. Black lentil. Yeah, black lentil. I have to look at what is the different black. Mung bean. Mung bean is moong dal. That's what I was saying. No, Mashash. Which is the one I was checking? Mashashchame. Masha means pesarapappu. Moong dal. Moong dal. Mashashchame. Then Tilaschame. Til is sesame seed. Nuvulu. Nalla nuvulu. Telugulo. Yellu. Tamilla children. Yellu. Telugu is nuvulu. Sesame seed. Black seed. That's the one that is used for many when you do the karma, apakarma, you use tilaschame. Black sesame seed. Then, which is the next one? Mudga. Mudga means moong dal. Correct. What? I got confused now. Okay. Annancha vriha yaschame. Vriha yava means this masha. Then masha means mung bean. Tila means black sesame seed. Mudga means pesalu. You know, that is the mudga means moong dal. Yes. Next. Khalwa. Khalwa means Bengal gram. That Senegal. Senegal ante Senegal means Kondai Kadala. Kondai Kadalu. See, now ladies are confused. They are not used to Right. Channa dal. Yeah. Yes. Next. Godhumaschame. Godhuma. Godhuma means wheat. Next. Masura. Masur dal is PG and peas. Kandipappu. Tur dal. Tur dal. Next. Priyangavaschame. Priyangavaschame. Godhumaschame. Masuraschame. Priyangavaschame means panicum, panic seed. Which is, what is panic seed? I'm trying to look for in, this called, in Telugu it's called korralu. Korralu ante maybe Kotesrao telusu, migitha vallu evariki teliyadu. Nobody else will know. Panicum means jonna, jovar. Jovar. Next. Priyangavaschame, Anavaschame. This is the long grain rice is Anavaschame. Then Shyamakaschame. Shyamakaschame. Shyamakaschame means in the different types of like the millets, there are different colors. The one that is black colored panic seed, jovar seed. The black color comes because of different content of color pigments. Shyamakaschame. Nivarashchame. Nivara means the rice that is grown wildly without any cultivation in forests. That is Nivarashchame. Syamakashchame. Not Shyamakashchame. Syamakashchame. Nivarashchame. Mudgash. So first one is Vrihayashchame, all different types of rice. Yavaschame, all different types of millets like barley, jowar, etc. Mashashchame is urdal. Mung dal. Mudgashchame, Mudgashchame is pesalu. I don't know what's that. Pesalu? One is bean, the other is the removed one. Yeah, without black, like when you make some of the idli you make without removing the skin, right? That's more nutritious than the one with the skin removed. Minul veru, pesal veru. Mashashchame, Masha means minumulu. Minumul ante urdal. Unremoved urdal. Masha, the vadas, they are called Masha Chakras. Because they are made with urdal. Urdal is Mashashchame. And they actually dull your mind. Eating too many vadai dulls your mind. Let me tell you this. And there is a story in Harsha, the great king, Sri Harsha. He was such a sharp man. He was like incredible Sanskrit writer, the king. He was so intelligent that they had, for 40 days, they had to feed him only vadai. Make him sleep under donda. Donda means, what is donda chettu? The little fruits. Donda pandu evantaru? Dondakai. Yeah, I don't know what dondakai is in English. I'm sorry guys, dudes. Tindora. So eating tindora and eating vadai is the best way to become the dullest in the world. Okra increases your sharpness and tindora decreases your sharpness. So this Harsha, they had to make him sleep under a tindora vine and make him eat vadai for 40 days. And on the 41st day, they were bringing the vadai. And he said, Asesha Semushi Visha Vishesha Masha Chakramula. Asesha Semushi Visha Vishesha Masha Chakramula means a very special donuts of these vadai. They are excellent in dulling your mind. This is what Harsha said. So now it's not advertisement against vada. Eating one vada once in a while is fine, but you have to be careful. Mashashchame means that. Masha means, now you will never forget what Masha is. Tila means black sesame seed. Mudga means mung bean, pesalu. Vigna radiata. That is the scientific name of that. Okay. Next one is, I'm a botanist also. My bachelor's was in botany. So Kalvashchame means the fab beans, the different types of beans. Khalva also is called Rajma. Okay. Then Godhumashchame, wheat. Masurashchame, the red lentils. And then Priyangavashchame, panic seed. Anavashchame, small sized rice grains. Long grain, Anavashchame. Then Shyamakashchame, dark colored panic seeds. Then Nivarashchame means rice that grows without cultivation. Now you see, what is all this related to the context of how many different types of food the Mother Earth provides is described. And these are also worshipped as Navadhanyas. The 9 different dhanyas, the grains that are worshipped during any festival or any good karma that we do, like marriages, Gruhapravesham, all different things, or Satyanarayana Vratam. They put the 9 different types of grains and they worship. Now we have no context why they worship. They said, these people, at least they will remember. If somebody said, Navadhanya, please, Satyanarayana Puja, please bring Navadhanya, means when we were children, we used to go to the market, look for all the Navadhanya with father, mother used to give a chit. And we used to go to the market, look for what is this, what is that. Today what happens? Navadhanya. Father doesn't know, mother doesn't. They go to the Nataraja store and they ask. Navadhanya means he will give one packet containing all the grains. The fellow is very happy. And they have no context of why they are buying these dhanyas, why they are worshipping. It was a way for people to connect to Mother Nature. Today we don't even put an effort to connect to Mother Nature. We don't have any context of what type of food the Mother Earth is providing. How sad it is. It is really very sad. The human being has lost touch. When you lose touch with Mother Nature, you lose touch with yourself. Because the Mother Nature is your own self. These 9 different types of grains that are brought in and worshipped, because they will say, at least the fellow will go put an effort to connect to them and worship them. It is actually worshipping them. They imposed on it, said these are the Navagrahas. The fellow is scared of one thing only. Navagrahas, the moment you say the 9 planets, oh my God, they are going to affect me. With fear they will go and buy this stuff. But that is not the intent of the worship in the Vedic, in Sanatana Dharma. The reason why they worshipped is not, is to associate ourselves with the Mother Nature. You are worshipping rice, you are worshipping Godhuma, you are worshipping different types of pearls and millets, and you offer them. Not only that, before marriages they called what is called Ankur Arpan. Means what? Navadhanya, they take the Mother Earth, they first pray to the Mother Earth, and then they mix milk and different nutrients to Mother Earth. Then they put in pots, then they take these grains and put in these pots, wait for 3 days, and before marriage you are supposed to worship that, and then only the girl is eligible to get married. Today what happens? The fellow and the girl, the guy and the gal both go a day before the marriage. What is the context of marriage? The fellow is in America, he has only 2 days leave, he has to come get married, and the girl is ready to go already. They have no time, no connection with this marriage. How sacred this is, how important this is, how incredibly spiritual it is. They have no context of this. They don't even put an effort to understand it. When you mix the jaggery with this, the cumin seed, it creates an energy. They mix together, and when they put on the top of this is the Sahasrara, and the girl's hand is on the boy's head, and the boy said, now what happened? In the olden days they were supposed not to look even at the girl until they opened the curtain. Before they even see each other, they are supposed to pass the energy from one to another with their hands on the top of each other's heads. And then when they lift, the girl is given instruction, don't look at anything, no videographer, nothing. Today's what happens? Put the hand, look like this. Nobody pays attention. No, they're looking at the video guy, and the video guy is telling, hey sir, move. I have to take the video is more important than why we are even doing this damn thing. They put all kinds of curtains with different types of beads and everything colorful. I'm not saying don't celebrate, don't get me wrong. Celebration is only one, there are certain times cultural celebration, but the spiritual aspect of why the Vivaham is done like this is what I am emphasizing. I have to say, God bless her, my daughter studied all this stuff before she got married. Both of them came and sat down, they spent 3 hours with me, uncle, can you please explain why this, why that? Achintya was asking all these things. And they were telling the video guys, say, please, take whatever you need to do. We should not be disturbed. So what happens is, when these hands are like this, the energy is passing. When they lift, when they open the eyes, the Agnya Chakra, the connection of the energy, the flow of the energy happens between the girl and the boy. That's how they are connected the very first time, through the energy of seeing each other and passing energy from one to another. Even that has the context of so much of meaning in Sanatana Dharma. Today, all of this has become a ritual that nobody even cares about, pays attention to. It has become a social, cultural affair, not a spiritual affair where people have to be connected. Huh? Why I got into this, I don't know, but why this Mother Nature connection is what I am saying. Everything in Sanatana Dharma is related to worship of Mother Nature. That's how we came to that. Even before you construct a home, here no construct and mortgage payment, right? Who cares about who constructed our home? Some building company constructed. We are living in that. But in India it is not like that, right? Building a home and getting marriage are the two most auspicious things in the life of an individual. Illu katti chudu, pelli chesi chudu. These are the two things. The illu katti chudu means construct a home, that is a dream. And offer a girl in marriage, that is the second dream to be fulfilled. And when they do that, the very first thing they do is they go worship the Mother Earth. It's called Shankhustapana. They dig and they say, "Oh Mother, please forgive us. We are going to build this home on the top of you. We'll be living there. Kindly, can you give us permission to be living on you?" They pray to the Mother Earth. Then only they start the building. Why? Because the space belongs to her. The land belongs to her. And there is supposed to be different places where you are supposed to have. Now here what happens? We have a little closet or a room where we put the god. The fellow goes and stands in front and throws some akshatas and goes away. There is no opportunity to sit down in one place and do your worship every day. They dedicate a special room for God. That's your place of connection. It is sanctity. You are supposed to sit there at least a few minutes a day. Meditate, do whatever you want. Light a lamp. Why all these things have to be done? Because you take the time to connect to yourself. Oh, God is present everywhere, sir. Then sit in your lavatory and do puja. Do you do that? God is all this Chumma Vedanta, they give. Why I should go to Kailasa, sir? Shiva is present everywhere. Yes, yeah, very good. You are very connected. I can see that. Huh? Why they say this is Metta Vedanta? There's no can't be. The point is, why you go to a special place to worship is because that is where millions of people are going and they're doing this offering with so much of intensity that you get benefited by connecting to God in a special place, a synagogue or a mosque or a church or a temple where millions of people go and worship. That's why that place has significance. Isn't it? And the context of this Mother Earth giving all this dhanya, she doesn't stop there. The next Anuvakam goes on to describe how many different ways Mother Earth helps us. And that is the Ashmachame Murtikachame. Let's first chant the Urchame Sunratachame. Now that you have understood this Navadhanyas, the wheat is representative of God, sun. Rice is representative of the moon. Then the Turdal, which is Kandipappu, is representative of the Bruhaspati. Jupiter, yes, Jupiter. Then the horse gram is representative of Ketu, 9 planets. Worshipped as Navadhanya. The center you will be placing and you will be worshipping. And when you do this worship, the sun is looked at as God. The Venus is looked at as God. Jupiter is worshipped as God. If you only refrain your movement that this is something that is just a stationary planet, it is dying every day. One day we will also die with that. If you live in that consciousness only, you will be that only. Yad bhavan tad bhavati. But the beautiful spiritual way of living is to look at everything as God. Is to worship everything as God. Sun is God, Jupiter is God, Venus is God, Mars is God. All these are gods. And these gods are reflected in the food I am eating. How beautiful that is. How incredibly elevating it is to live a life like that. That is spiritual life. If you only say, oh, this rice is produced only for our consumption, it has no context of nourishing me, right? You will live a life like that only, like a pig. A pig living without worshipping food is equal. A man living without worshipping the food that they are eating is equivalent to pig indulging in only khana, pina, sona, marna. That's all. What I was saying is an avadhanyas. At least put an effort. Next time you do Satyanarayana Puja. Next time you attend somebody's, Navadhanya Puja, Navagraha Puja. Pay attention to that. This Navagraha, they've constructed this because at least with the fear of the Navagrahas, that they will go down in their life. Oh, Shani, Amma, very problematic. Shani, I have to be very careful. That's why they go pour oil on him, do all kinds of stuff. Swami said, you need anugraha. God doesn't have agraha. God has no anger. It is stupid to think that God has anger. The anger is the reflection of our own fear. When you are fearful of God, then there is anger. When you are fearful of sin, papa bhiti, we have to fear the sin. Fear the sin that we are not thankful to God enough. Fear the sin that we are not thankful to Mother Nature every day. That's why every time when you even eat food, you are saying this offering to God. Right? Thanking God. Gratitude. But here Thanksgiving is only one day a year. One day in a year we take time to thank God. It's not even thanking God. Everybody sit down and eat turkey and all that stuff and drink beer and watch football. That is the life. Is that life worse than that of a pig? Because where is thankfulness to God? But our context is very different. This is why Sanatana Dharma, it is called Dharma because it is a way of living. Dharma means way of living. The eternal way of living is what is present before you came, what will be present after you go, is the creation around you, the Mother Nature around you. That Mother Nature is the reflection of the God. He is the effulgence. She is the reflection. She means the Mother Nature. That's why we say Bhumata. It's a Mother Earth. Swami talks about the 4 mothers. People are celebrating Mother's Day. When we celebrate the Mother's Day, we need to know how many different types of mothers are adored. Bhumata, Gomata, Vedamata, Dehamata. Your Dehamata, the mother of your body, will come and go. But the Mother Earth around you is always there. At least as long as you know. Isn't it? So you can worship the mother. Gomata. Cow is worshipped as a mother. In Lalita Sahasranama, yesterday I was listening to a discourse, very beautiful discourse. In Lalita Sahasranama, mother is referred to as a Gomata, Guhajanma Bhuh. Gomata. If somebody looks at the mother, she is goddess. And the Vagdevatas, they are calling her Gomata. You are Gomata, they are saying. Some people will take it as insult. If some lady is going and say, Mother cow, come here, what will you think? They'll slap you and say, why you are calling me cow? But Lalita Mata was sitting there on the Simhasanam and these Vagdevatas are calling her Gomata. And she says, yes, I am the mother cow. Why is mother cow so important? Even the goddess is called Gomata and she accepted it. This is the beauty we have to understand. The reason is because she consumes what is useless and gives everything that is useful. Whereas we consume what is useful and convert it into what is totally useless. Phalamunu malamunu cheyunu. Malamunu phalamunu cheyunu. Swami's words. I am not saying anything that, of course you know that whatever I say is his words. Swami says, today the human being converts phala to mala. But whereas mother cow converts what is useless, the grass, and to what is useful. So much so, the milk of mother cow is what is given to the children. If the mother is even not eligible to give the milk, they give cow's milk. It is so nutritious, it has so many immunoglobulins, and it is very important. Not that of a water buffalo, dunnapotu, not the milk of that barre. That's what we think is useful for us today. Mother cow is so auspicious that even her urine is what is used to worship the lingam. They are called pancha, 5 different things that come from the cow. And today what happens? We have not only no respect for cow, but we kill the cows, and we live in a country that uses beef as an industry for living. What an incredibly sad thing it is that you take a animal that is so sattvic and lives to give so many. We mistreat her. Look at that Kovalinga and all this stuff, how cows are mistreated. If you go and see Kovalinga, you wouldn't even drink milk that comes from those places. That is so horrible it is. They are not allowed to graze, they are not allowed. So my heart is crying, because what we call as Gomata is everything that comes out of her, including if the cow leaves its body in an auspicious way. The cow's skin is used to make the Dhamarukam for Shiva. Even after death it is useful for God's service. When we die, what happens? Fellows will throw us into these furnaces. Throw it, push the button, done. Take the ashes. That is the way today what happens of bodies going on. But they even what is called Gorochanam. There is an organ that is present in cow. After it dies, it accumulates because of the grazing, and it is very, very aromatic. And that Gorochanam is what they take from the cow. They burn it in yajna, and that is what is used in Shiva temples for pouring on Shiva. The vibhuti that we get today is the dung of the cow that is put in yajna, and it gives that beautiful aromatic vibhuti. Vibhuti that we consume today. Somebody was, when I was talking to the SSC children, they were like saying, "Oh my God, this is cow dung." No, stupid. Don't even think like that. It is put in yajna with balls, with special mantras, they create that vibhuti. And that is nothing but cow dung. How many different ways the cow is used today? Gomata. That's why cow is referred to as the mother. 33 million divine energies are resident in a cow. 33 million divine energies. That's why when you do pradakshina for the go, it is equivalent to going around Kasi 28 times around a cow. What is the context of all of this? I know you are all listening to me and saying, "Oh my God." That's why when you see a cow in the streets, etc., many Western friends of mine, they make fun of cows hanging around on the streets in India. What context they understand? In temples, everywhere, the cows are divine. They are allowed to be there. And the cow is so auspicious because it is the only creation that is not created by Brahma. Everything else is created by the God except the cow. There is a big story behind that. I won't go into all of the. You are all bored of. It's already 10 o'clock, so I have to cut short on time. So the context of this Urchame Sunrutachame is how beautifully the Mother Earth is providing so many different things. Bhumata. The one who provides stuff for others is Mata. The one who is present only to be of service to others is Mata. That's why Mother Earth is Bhumata. The one who lives to provide milk, even her dung is useful. Her urine is useful. Everything is useful from her. Even the Avu Palu means the cow's milk. Avu Perugu, the curd that is made from the cow's milk. Avu Neyi, the ghee that comes from the cow. Avu, the urine of the cow. All these are the ones that are poured on the divine himself. And even donating a Godana is very auspicious. Giving one cow as dana is supposed to be the most auspicious dana, more auspicious than giving a mountain of gold. That is how auspicious it is. Why? Because 33 million divine energies are present in this cow. With that, let's chant the Urchame, and next week we will do the Ashmachame, Murtikachame. Urchame, Sunrutachame, Payaschame, Rasaschame, Madhuchame, Sagdhischame, Sapitischame, Rayishchame, Rayaschame, Pushtamchame, Pushpishchame, Vibhuchame, Prabhuchame, Prabhuchame, Bhuyaschame, Purnanchame, Purnatapanchame, Kshitishchame, Nanchame, Kshuschame, Vrihayaschame, Yavaschame, Mashaschame, Tilaschame, Mudgaschame, Khalvaschame, Masuraschame, Priyangavaschame, Navaschame, Shamakashame, Om Shanti. You will assess in that? Okay, so one more thing, Brother Jagan sent an email. I will be teaching Medha Suktam to the children that are interested in learning. 2 conditions. Both the parent and child should come to the class. Because I never teach only the children. Because if the parents don't follow at home, what is the point in teaching children? Every parent has one disease. They want their child to be perfect but not themselves. This is called a disease. Every parent wants the child, hey, why you are doing this, why you are doing that? Cheppinattu chestara, Swami said. Never follow what you tell the child. Child should be very perfect. We as parents, we can be complacent, hypocritic. So when the child comes to the class, at least one parent should come to the class. They should learn along with the child and practice with the child at home, so that when they go and offer to Swami for the Ishwaram day, the child and the parent both are engaged in doing this. So that is one thing. And it doesn't require 15, all the SSC children to come and chant. No, not required. 1 spoonful of cow's milk is required for worship, not barrels of donkey milk. Quality is more important than equality. Here we suffer from another disease called equality. Everybody should come and participate, whether they chant, whether they put their effort or not, it doesn't matter. Let us not hurt anyone, everybody should know. That is not the principle of offering. The principle of offering is only the flowers that come from Andal are the ones that are accepted by the God. And so what happens is that commitment in making sure that the child learns with full heart and the parent actually participates in that learning is important. So Medha Suktam is, I will start teaching from next week, and the child will learn not only how to chant, but they have to be practicing every day with their parents. That is the requirement. Okay? Om Sri Sai Ram. Oh.